When Like a Dragon Gaiden was released in 2023, it helped to explain various details about Kiryu, from the events with the Song of Life to the soft reboot of the Yakuza series as Like a Dragon and into events with Infinite Wealth. But the exact details for the game when developed were somewhat different than gamers might have expected. But the speculative scenario is this: Gaiden was originally supposed to be downloadable content for Infinite Wealth. Kiryu Kazuma was the main protagonist that players acted as throughout multiple installments of the Yakuza series of video games, but after decades of chronological activities, it was becoming more difficult to put the character into logical stories and to successfully write him in each game installment. It was eventually decided to give the franchise a soft reboot, with Ichiban Kasuga as the new focus of the series, and it being retitled Like a Dragon as a result. From information now known, staff at Ryuga Gotoku Studios wanted to clear up any questions that gamers might have had about Kiryu from after Yakuza 6 and into Yakuza 7. Writer Masayoshi Yokoyama later commented when asked, "The premise for Gaiden came out of concepts for Infinite Wealth. Ideas among staff at the studio had a cinematic to have been included with Infinite Wealth to help explain details about Kiryu shortly before, during, and after events of Yakuza 7, now called Yakuza Like a Dragon." But the more the staff at Ryuga Gotoku Studios had for ideas concerning Kiryu during the transition phase, the more the studio desired to do something more than just a simple cinematic for players to see. As mentioned, the concepts and ideas to expand upon what Kiryu did during the series' soft reboot era ended up being more than just a cinematic experience for gamers, as further ideas eventually became Kiryu's gadgets and gear used within the game, as Ryuga Gotoku Studios staff wanted Kiryu to do something slightly different for the game, and to somewhat show the character in a new sense of preparation for Infinite Wealth. Even with everything that Gaiden eventually became, there were still divided opinions at the studio if it were to remain downloadable content for Infinite Wealth or for it to be established as a game installment in its own right. Eventually it was released as an installment in the Like a Dragon series. A last aspect of discussion had minor debates for it being an optional installment of the series or a must-play installment of the series. Popular opinions now had it that it was an optional game to play for casual gamers due to the short runtime for the gaming experience, but it was also considered a must-play for serious gamers due to it explaining particular details from the Song of Life to Infinite Wealth.